Now this deck is spicy. We're playing Legacy Solidarity, the high tide base combo deck featuring Umori the Collector, Sail into the West, and Planar Genesis from Modern Horizons 3. It's going to be a good one. Let's go check it out. This video is proudly sponsored by Card Market. Before we get into this spicy Simic Solidarity Legacy combo list, I would like to thank this video's sponsor, Into the AM, best known for their really sweet graphic tees, and check out the discount in front of you to save tons of money on excellent product. But personally, I prefer their polos and button-ups. I think that they're just really high quality, they're extremely affordable, and the most important thing, they're comfortable. And if you're interested in checking these out, check out the link in my description and pin comment to save 10% off with code STORM10. That is STORM10 to get 10% off of Into the AM product. All right, well, now that that's over, let's talk about some Legacy Solidarity. So it is a high tide based combo deck. So high tide says that all of your islands tap for an additional blue. So the idea here is that we use reset and turnabout to untap our islands after we've played a high tide. Okay, well, that's the deck's core. And it is a land-based combo deck, so you're reduced by the number of lands that you can have in play. Enter Planar Genesis from Modern Horizons 3. This card adds both speed and consistency. So in the past, we've tried things like Growth Spiral that just really add speed because you're getting a random card draw. Well, today we also gain consistency because Planar Genesis is replacing Impulse, which would often dig for the high tide itself or lands like your islands. Well, Planar Genesis then puts those islands into the battlefield. So you're able to accelerate, which means that you get to break that one land per turn rule in your deck. So we are speeding up, which is the one thing this deck truly needed. But it's not the only reason to play Simic. There's also Sail into the West, an instant speed Wheel of Fortune. So you're able to choose the correct mode, discard your hand, and draw 7, which is a huge improvement. Additionally, we have Umori the Collector, which in a weird out-of-this-world game, you could theoretically put it onto the table and then make all your instants and sorceries cast 1 less. So that is a reason to play green alongside Force of Vigor. We now have 7 green cards in the main deck, plus Umori the Collector, and then even Veil of Summer. So it's pretty good in those prison matchups. And that is the reason to be Solidarity today. So after you've made a ton of mana, you play your draw spells, and then eventually you Cunning Wish for a Brain Freeze. You deck your opponent, and then you can play another Cunning Wish and Blue Sun Zenith your opponent out. If you make enough blue mana, you could just Blue Sun Zenith your opponent out and completely ignore the Brain Freeze aspect as well. So that is the deck that we're playing today. Hopefully you enjoyed my deck tech. If you did, leave a like, comment, subscribe. Remember to check out Into the AM with Storm10 to get 10% off. All right, let's go play some Magic, and I'll see you in the first round. Don't go anywhere. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. You can also show your support by becoming a member of this channel. You get sweet perks such as badges, emotes, early access to videos, exclusive members-only content, and access to our members Discord section. As you increase the tiers, there are other rewards such as shop discounts, sideboard guides, and even free donation decks. Click the join button down below to find out more. We also have other ways you can support us, like theepicstorm.com/shop or submitting a donation deck via theepicstorm.com/donation decks. That's enough for now. Let's play some Magic. Round number 1, we're on the play. Let's reveal our Umori the Collector. 1 land, only a Brainstorm. I think this hand's a pretty big trap. We should mulligan. This is better. We'll bottom the Tropical Island. Misty Rainforest, pass the turn. Ancient Tomb, okay. We didn't need another land. We'll play a fetch and pass. Eldrazi Temple, okay. It that heralds the end. We'll fetch, grab an island, take a draw, another land. That's a lot of lands. Okay. We will pass the turn. They play an Ancient Tomb. They attack for 2. We'll fall to 17. They're just going to pass. I feel like this is a good spot to play Meditate. We'll grab the basic island. Let's play Meditate. Okay, that looks like a 4 cards that will allow us to win, assuming we get to untap. They make 6 mana. Kozilek's Command for 5. They put 2 cards on top and 3 on the bottom. Okay, we could just lose the game right here. City of Traders, so that's 8 mana, 9 with the It That Heralds, 14 total mana I count. Glaring Fleshraker. Another It That Heralds the End. Okay. They swing. That is 13 damage, if I count that correctly. So I go to 1. Another creature kills me here. Okay, I am dead. So we lost game number 1. If I could have untapped, we had a win, but they had a super fast combo-like hand. Okay, so I don't think we're supposed to sideboard here. I'm just going to resubmit. You could bring in the Force of Vigors, I suppose. Maybe we'll do that. Board out 1 Meditate, and let's try a Consider. Umori. Sure, we'll try this. Keep. They reveal a Devourer of Destiny. We'll play the basic island and pass. And now the Devourer of Destiny, so they get to look at the top 4 and put one of those cards back on top. And then they exile the other 3. They play Eldrazi Temple, we'll play Consider. Definitely want to keep the High Tide. Reset was good. So this is a good spot for Planar Genesis to hit land number 3. Lotus Petal. Another Lotus Petal. Okay, your Storm count is high. Love it. They have 3 cards remaining in their hand. Null Drifter. So they draw 2, even if I counter this, because it's when you cast. So I'm going to Force of Will this just because it has Annihilator 1. And if I let that resolve, I'm never going to get ahead enough on lands. We'll fetch. Grab the Tropical Island. Make a green. Play Planar Genesis. Take the Tropical Island. Okay. So we could, in theory, try to go for it. Let's view our sideboard. I boarded out a Meditate so we could Cunning Wish for it. It's a little risky, but in theory we could do it. If they don't do anything super meaningful or impactful, I could also just Cunning Wish on the end step for Meditate. They play an Ancient Tomb. Okay, so they're playing a Myco Spawn. I think we're supposed to try to win here. We'll play High Tide. Tap for blue, play Reset, and then we'll play Cunning Wish. We'll say yes, and then we'll select Meditate. I could get the Blue Sun Zenith, but it's a lot more mana, and we don't actually have that much mana right now. We'll play Meditate. That could have been better. Let's play Consider. Don't need another High Tide. Brainstorm. So I'm going to have to skip a turn here. But what I can do is I can sail into the west and get a new hand. Alright, sail into the west. We'll choose Embark. We'll discard our hand and draw 7. And then we can let the exile happen. I do have to skip a turn here, so it comes at a cost. So we need to be able to untap again. So we need to keep this Force of Will around to make sure that happens. And countering this doesn't help that much. So they grabbed a Wasteland. Yeah, that's brutal. So now they're passing the turn to themselves. Cavern of Souls. They name Eldrazi. Another Sowing Myco Spawn. And fun fact, it is not exile target non-basic land, it's any land. So they can even exile our basics here. This is just so backbreaking. And I can't counterspell this because it's a triggered ability on cast. There's also a Cavern of Souls in play, but I can't counterspell I couldn't counterspell the previous one, is I guess my point. And another Sowing Myco Spawn. They attack for 3, I'll fall to 15. Mission Briefing, we'll play land and pass. I need to find another land if I want to try to win this next turn. And we need to not die, they need to not do anything that would kill me. Like, there's a lot of what-ifs here. They play Kozilek's Command for 2. I'm not going to counterspell that. I don't think it's actually that relevant. Another Null Drifter, that's okay. And now they attack for 9, I'll go to 6. On the end step, we need to Consider into a land here. Force of Will can go to the graveyard. That was not the land we needed. Come on, deck, pretty please. That's not good. Brainstorm. There's the land, but I don't have enough time, I'm dead. I needed just the land for the turn because I don't have a reset. If we had a reset, we would be okay, but we don't. Okay, so we're deterministically dead. That we are 0-1 to start off this Legacy League. Moxfield.com is the easiest way to build a Magic deck online. They support over 30 formats, including Legacy and many other Eternal formats. There are so many options to view decks the way that you want, from text view to individual cards, mana value, and even card price. There's also light mode and dark mode. My personal favorite feature is card tags. This way you can sort cards by function. Moxfield supports collection tracking, Scryfall search, decklist feedback, and so much more. Follow me on Moxfield.com so you can stay updated on all of my decks. We're on the draw for match number 2. We've already revealed our Umori the Collector. This hand, it's okay. If you find a High Tide, it's actually very good. You do need a third land. I'm going to choose to keep it. Maybe it's a little foolish, but I don't think mulliganing with this deck is a great idea. It's a deck that needs a lot of resources to win, so every mulligan is very crippling. And it looks like we're facing Dimir Scam, the best deck in the format, and it's a combo deck killer. So, unfortunately, a not great matchup here in round number 2. Another Undercity Sewers. We find land number 3. Okay, so we need High Tide. They don't have an end step in Tomb. They play Wasteland. Sure. I think I'm going to sit on this Brainstorm and just draw cards. Like, if they're not doing anything, we're not under any pressure. Let's just be patient. They play land number 4. You got it. I don't know what you're doing over there, but yeah. On the end step, we'll play Brainstorm. Alright, we did not find a High Tide. We're going to put back Mission Briefing and Cunning Wish. We'll fetch. Grab another island. There we go. Pass the turn. So now we're looking for protection. They play Brainstorm. They play Underground Sea. Murktide Regent. So maybe they're not for Scaminator? Let's try a Brainstorm in response. We don't need Consider, and I probably don't need 2 lands, so we'll put those back. We'll use the Prismatic Vista, grab the Basic Forest. Let's Brainstorm in response. I want all of my mana untapped next turn. Alright, we'll put back the... this is a toughie. Do I want 3 resets? Maybe. Alright, we'll put the Misty on top. And then we can Planar Genesis, and if they want to daze that, they can. They do daze the Planar Genesis. Murktide Regent is going to resolve. We'll play Misty past the turn. In their upkeep, let's High Tide. That resolved, okay. And we can now respond to this Undercity Sewers. We'll fetch, grab the basic island. We'll make 7 mana and play a reset. This is the card I hope that they fight over because we have 2 more of it. They did not. Let's try and Meditate. They let that resolve, okay. Play Consider. We'll Surveil away another Consider. Planar Genesis. I'm going to Cunning Wish. And we will grab a Veil of Summer. Play the Veil of Summer. Interesting. We'll play Reset. Reset again. Maybe I should have played Planar Genesis in the middle in case I hit a land. But I guess the only lands I have are fetch lands for tropicals, and there's a Wasteland in place, so that's probably not even very good. We'll say no. Get back a Mission Briefing. Okay, let's play Mission Briefing. Storm is now 10. But we'll put these both to the graveyard. And then we'll choose Meditate. Mission Briefing. Put these both to the graveyard. We'll choose Reset. And now we will sail into the west. We're getting to do the thing. We'll choose Embark. And now we're going to discard our hand and draw 7. Play High Tide. And let's Meditate. Meditate again. High Tide again. Let's play a Reset from our graveyard. And then we'll Meditate again. No Cunning Wish yet. I guess we'll Meditate another time. This brings us down to 8 cards left in deck. Consider. We'll keep that. Consider again. And we'll keep that. We'll make some mana, cast Turnabout, targeting us. Land. Untap. Play Cunning Wish. We'll go grab the Brain Freeze. Cunning Wish. And now we'll go grab the Blue Sun Zenith. Brain Freeze you for your deck. Only 75 cards. If we were facing a Yorion deck, I mean, I guess I would still deck them because you start the game by drawing 7, but you know, it's not 80. We have taken game number 1. We likely want Veil of Summer. Just swap those with considers. Let's try this. This hand is pretty risky. I'm sort of inclined to keep it though. I'm really mulligan adverse with this deck because you're a deck that needs a lot of resources, so mulliganing really hurts. So we have Veil of Summer against the blue-black control deck. We have Forcible to fight. Like, we just need lands. And I'm actually playing an extra land today compared to previous lists. So we're playing 18 lands. I'm going to choose to believe in the heart of the cards here. Main phase a Brainstorm. So they're digging for grief. You draw a Cunning Wish, we'll play the Misty Rainforest and pass. Another Brainstorm. And our opponents conceded the match. Well, that's one way to win. We are now 1-1. Looking to make playing your favorite combo deck much easier? Look no further than the Epic Storm Mini Token Combo Pack, which is available at theepicstorm.com/shop for $14.99. This combo token pack comes with 84 double-sided tokens. That includes our classic Storm and mana tokens, as well as fan favorites such as Goblins, Squirrels, and Slime Time Live. But that's not all. We've expanded this token pack to cover a variety of formats with new tokens. Stop on by theepicstorm.com/shop and make an easy decision to elevate your combo game. We're on the play for match number 3. I just need to find more lands, and this hand is great, so we will keep it. Fluted Delta, pass the turn. The Seiju Who Endures, okay. We'll fetch, grab that basic island, and let's play Consider. Keep that. I like the lands. Well, a certain number of lands, I shouldn't jinx it. I don't want to draw all lands, just a couple more. They play Dryad Arbor. I could Brainstorm here, but I'm going to untap and cast it to give me additional looks. Looking for land 3 here. We did not find it. That is devastating. Okay, so Cunning Wish and Turnabout on top. I guess I should Brainstorm again just to pray to hit the 3rd land. No such luck. Okay. 2 on top. So in my upkeep, I can Mission Briefing just to get rid of those. But it's like a time walk. They play Noble Hierarch. And now they attack for 2. I'll take 2. In the upkeep, we'll Mission Briefing. But Meditate and Cunning Wish to the graveyard. We'll target Consider in case I do draw a land. Pass the turn. They play a Brainstorm. What are you on? Is this like a Nadu deck then? Flooded Strand. Great Tundra. Uro, Titan of Nature's Wrath. Okay. They play Misty Rainforest. 5 cards remaining in hand. A Planar Genesis that we cannot cast. Okay, we will go to Cleanup. They play Ponder. Okay, so it's Cephalid Breakfast with Uro in it? It's a little odd. Noble Hierarch. They have 4 cards left in their hand. We miss on the land again. Okay. Like, I realized that I could burn the other Mission Briefing, but I think I need that card to win. They use Misty Rainforest to grab a Tropical Island. Ice Fang Waddle. Yeah. 2 lands in, like, the top 32% of our deck. And now they play a Ponder. They play Tropical Island into Uro, Titan of Nature's Wrath. Okay. They attack. Oh, are you going to attack? They do, and I'll take 3 here. It's a land! Kind of too late at this point. They play Hedge Maze. They kept that card on top. I guess it's now or never. We'll cast High Tide. They allow High Tide to resolve. We'll play a Reset. They allowed that to resolve. Let's try Meditate. They're going to attempt a Force of Will. I'm going to try to Meditate in response. They play a Brainstorm. They hard cast a Force of Will. I will try to respond with a Reset. So I have a cool line here if it works. We're going to Turnabout ourselves. Land and untap. Play Mission Briefing. I think I have to surveil both of these away. And now with the Mission Briefing, I'm going to choose Cunning Wish. So in order for this to work, Storm is 12. Well, Brain Freeze would be 12. So, hold on. Does this win? So if I get Brain Freeze, 12 times 3 is 36. Is Uro a May? It is not. So I think Brain Freeze just wins here. They'll have one card left in their deck. They can't attack with the Uro. If they are Cephalid Breakfast, though, it's really bad for me. But my line here is to get Veil of Summer, and then I have to draw into one of my 2 remaining resets in order to win the game. So do I take the chance on Brain Freeze? Or do we think that they're just Nadu combo with the Nomads in their deck? My gut tells me that they actually have the Cephalid combo, but I could be wrong. Alright, I'm going to be a coward and get the Veil of Summer. Play Veil of Summer. I have to draw into one of 2 resets now. No resets. And we missed. Ah, brutal. Alright. They attack. Like, I'm just going to sit here and take lethal because I want to see if they show me any additional information about what they're playing. We had 9 draws. I don't know what 9 out of 39 looks like, percentage-wise. Okay, we lost. Maybe I was supposed to get the Brain Freeze there. I just don't know if this deck is actually Breakfast or not. We will bring in Veil of Summer, board out, consider. Game number 2 on the play, we will keep. Play the island, pass the turn. Basic Forest into Noble Hierarch. High Tide was a good draw. We'll play the Polluted Delta and pass. They play Windswept Heath. We will fetch. Grab Tropical Island. Let's play a Planar Genesis. We want the Misty. Another reset. Pass the turn. They fetch with Windswept Heath or a Tundra. Endurance, okay, sure. So some of you might think that this is too aggressive, but I'm going to go for it here. We'll grab the other Tropical. High Tide. Play reset. That resolved, okay. We'll make some more mana here. Let's try another reset. That for more mana. Play another reset. We lose the double counterspell here, but they need 2 in order to beat me. Play Sail into the West. They're going to cast Veil of Summer. I am forced to respond to that. Our deck cannot be a Veil of Summer, so if they have a counterspell here, we're in trouble. And they counterspell pitching to Fairy Time Raveler. Okay. Sail into the West. We'll choose Embark. I am unable to win the game this turn. So we each discard our hand and draw 7. And I found my own Veil of Summer. But I think we're supposed to just pass. They attack with Endurance. They play Ponder. They shuffle off the Ponder. And another one. They play Savannah. And now they pass. We draw another land. We're not really in a spot to win here. I could go High Tide, Briefing, Sail into the West, but I can't untap my lands at all. So we need more mana. Instead, they Brainstorm. Carpet of Flowers. Yeah, you have all the mana in the world. They attack for 4. I'll go to 10. Nadu, Winged Wisdom. Okay. Nomads. I'm going to attempt to counterspell the Nomads. They Force Will, exiling Uro, Titan of Nature's Wrath. I will play Veil of Summer. They Force Will, pitching Nadu. Okay, so my Veil will become countered. I'm going to Mission Briefing back the Veil. Keep the other Mission Briefing on top. Play Veil of Summer. They have no hand now. Planar Genesis. We'll play Prismatic Vista past the turn. Actually, hold on. This might be the one game that we use the Umori. So let's put Umori to hand. They attack for 6. Ouch. No, they drew Karakas? When I have Umari? That's just not right. It's just not right. They replay the Nadu. Okay. We'll search out the basic island and let's play Planar Genesis. We don't want the land. I do think we want Turnabout, though. Play the forest. So I can play Umari, but they have Karakas. I just don't think it's actually like a winning play, even though I want to so badly. We will pass the turn. I'm also beginning to think that they don't have any breakfast combo in their deck and that I made a mistake in game number 1. Alright, Carpet of Flowers triggers. They get... Oh, they're going to choose to pass on that. Okay. Let's try a High Tide. Turnabout targeting me. Land, untap, Mission Briefing. We'll put these both to the graveyard. Let's target Sail into the West. So my fear here is if they have a counter spell, I lose if I play Briefing first. So I think I'm going to play a little bit conservatively here and just put the Sail into the West on the stack. And their last card was Force of Will. So we will Mission Briefing. These can both go to the graveyard. We'll target Veil of Summer. And now we will cast the Veil of Summer. The Force of Will fizzle. Sail into the West. We'll choose Embark. So we will be giving our opponent a new hand here. We don't have any way to untap our lands. So if our opponent has a Veil of Summer, it's actually pretty bad for us. They flash in an Icefang Quaddle. Okay, I don't care about that. Play High Tide. Let's meditate. We hit a reset, that's great. Hold on. Play another Tide. And then we'll reset to untap our lands. Play Cunning Wish. Yes. We'll grab Brain Freeze. Cunning Wish. We will grab Blue Sun Zenith. Target them with Brain Freeze. Are you actually going to let me see your deck here? Maybe I shouldn't have played the second Cunning Wish first, because now they know that I have a way of decking them with Blue Sun Zenith. No, they're just going to let it happen. Okay. Scavenging Ooze, Green Sun Zenith. Yeah, so I messed up game one. They're just on the fairest Nadu deck. Maybe they have an Endurance in their hand and that's why they're not conceding. They're going to use the Nadu. Sure. And they hit a Yavimaya. Let's Veil of Summer into Turnabout. Okay, that's good. Target ourselves. Land, untap. Play Brainstorm. Put 2 lands on top. Let's Planar Genesis. I guess I'll put Basic Island onto the table. Target you with Blue Sun Zenith for 1. Sweet. Okay. Forcing a game number 3. Hit submit. Game 3 on the draw. I will keep. I'm partially keeping because we saw Teferi Time Raveler in game number 2. I can't beat that card, so we have to have Force of Will in order to stop it from resolving. Play Misty Rainforest, pass the turn. We play Snow-Covered Island. Speaking of Teferi Time Raveler, we will Force of Will, exiling Meditate. Get out of here. Sail into the West. We'll play our land, pass the turn. They use Flooded Strand. They pick up a land, 4 mana for a Green Sun Zenith for 3. Yeah. Nadu Winged Wisdom. We draw another copy of Sail into the West. We will pass. That's a Nomads. Maybe I was supposed to meditate in response. Whoops. I'm probably just dead here. Alright, I'm going to hit F6 and let our opponent do their thing. Yeah, I might have just thrown by not casting Meditate in response. I would have had to hit 1 of 3 Force of Wills. So, I don't know how likely it would have been. But it was a theoretical possibility instead of me just going, oh no, and then hitting OK. Another Nomads. I mean, this is pretty cool. They play Carpet of Flowers. I wonder what a winning game looks like. I honestly don't know. Scavenging Ooze. Alright, I'm going to play the Meditate. And let's see if we would have drawn a Force of Will. If it even resolves. Play Meditate. We would have hit a Force. Okay, so that one's on me. We are now 1-2. I mean, it was also on me because we probably should have won game number 1. But I just... For some reason, I thought that they were Southwood Breakfast because of the Nomads. So, my fault. I could have Brain Freeze them, leaving them at 1 card. They couldn't have attacked with the Uro, and then we would have won over 2 turns, but that's my fault. 1-2, 2 matches left to go. If you're still watching, make sure to give this video a like, comment, and subscribe. While you're near the description, here's a reminder to use our affiliate links if you're going to make a purchase from Amazon, Card Hoarder, or TCG Player. Just above those affiliate links, you'll find our social channels. Make sure to join those to connect with us. Round number 4, we're on the play. I think I am going to choose to mulligan this hand. It just loses to Wasteland. We're Brainstorm locked if we miss. I don't like it. This hand is significantly better. We will keep. Bottom a Sail into the West. Play Misty Rainforest and pass. Cavern of Souls. Eldrazi and Vexing Bauble. Well, we don't have Force of Will in our hand, and that's the only card impacted by Vexing Bauble in this deck. Another Cunning Wish is not what we needed. So I was thinking about this when I was updating, or I didn't think of it when I was updating the deck, but I thought of it last round. This deck might want a Hedge Maze. We drew the Force of Will right on time. Pass. I just didn't think of it when I was updating the previous list that I had played, and I think Hedge Maze as a one of for all of our fetch lands could be pretty good. But not Seer. I'm going to concede. So you might say that this is an early concession. Our opponent's going to figure out what we're doing, and I don't want that to happen. So I'd rather them not know going into the next game. We probably want the Force of Vigors. Take out a couple copies of Consider. Let's try this. We will keep play Island past the turn. They play Yavimaya. We'll tap the island and play Consider. Get rid of the Force of Will. I don't think we want it. High Tide was a good draw. Another Sail into the West. Play Scalding Turn past the turn. Eye of Ugin. Sowing Mycospawn. Okay. And a Thought-Knot Seer. Wow, what a sequence. Let's Brainstorm. I need to hide the High Tide. Or I could just find Force of Will. We'll put Sail into the West back and Brainstorm. And then let's Force of Will this Thought-Knot Seer. Fetch. Grab Tropical Island. Play Prismatic Vista past the turn. So in theory, if they play a Sowing Mycospawn or something else, I could try to win in response. Wasteland. That's brutal. Okay, well now that time has come, we're going to try to win. I was not expecting Wasteland for some reason. No excuses either, like I just wasn't considering them having Wasteland. And I could have gotten a basic too because they played the Yavimaya, so it's really my own fault here. And now we will play Sail into the West. We'll choose Embark. Yes, I would like to discard my hand and draw 7. So I hit another High Tide. And we have Mission Briefing into the Reset, so that's good. Tap for mana. And now we can Mission Briefing. Keep these both on top. Those are both great finds. Click on the Reset. And now we'll untap our lands. Sail into the West. We'll choose Embark. Yes, I would like to draw 7. Wasteland is still on the stack. We will cast a Reset. And now let's meditate. Let's meditate again. Another Sail into the West. Alright, let's play High Tide. Tap this for green. Whoops, I accidentally cast a Brainstorm there. We will Turnabout. Land, untap. Let's play Planar Genesis. And we hit a land, which is great. And now we'll tap for green. Turnabout. Land, untap. Let's Planar Genesis again. No lands, but we did find a Cunning Wish. We'll take the Cunning Wish. Let's cast the Cunning Wish. We'll grab a Brain Freeze. Target them with Brain Freeze. Okay, we've won game number 2. Let's resubmit. Alright, so this hand is lacking mana. I think you're supposed to mulligan. Like, having Force of Will is great, it just doesn't do enough. This hand is fine. We'll keep this. Put the Cunning Wish on the bottom. They have Cavern of Souls. And Once Upon a Time. They find a Sowing Mycospawn. I don't love that. Sure, you can have a Vexing Bauble. Play Polluted Delta, pass the turn. Ancient Tomb. And they play Sowing Mycospawn. They must have exiled an Elf Spirit Guide. They did. Okay. I was like, I'm only counting 3 mana there. They have 3 cards left in their hand. Like a Brainstorm. Planar Genesis, okay. So maybe that finds our 3rd land. Thought-Knot Seer. That's devastating. Goodbye, High Tide. And the High Tide has been exiled. They attack for 3, I'll go to 17. Fetch. We'll pick up a Tropical Island, and let's play Planar Genesis. Take the land. Force of Will. I'm going to just pass the turn. They attack for 7. And an uncounterable Thought-Knot Seer. Yeah. I guess it doesn't matter because of the Vexing Bauble anyway. But my plan was to meditate and give them an extra turn. I can't do that if they play another creature. So we're just dead. I am free to concede here. Bummer. That's unfortunate. We're 1-3, 1 match left to go. Let's try to get back half of my play points. I would appreciate that. With Card Hoarder, renting your favorite combo deck has never been easier. There isn't a more affordable solution for Magic Online. Want to play the deck in this video? Check out the pinned comment below to easily rent the deck from Card Hoarder. Did you know you can rent the Epic Storm from Card Hoarder for as little as 7 tickets a week? The final round, we're on the draw and I will keep. Fluted Delta. They pick up a Tropical Island and play a Tamiyo. You've got it. High Tide was a reasonable draw. Prismatic Vista passed the turn. They attack with the Tamiyo, they create a clue token. Brainstorm, which will flip the Tamiyo right over. They plus the Tamiyo. Viseju Who Endures will fetch. Pick up a basic island and let's play Consider. Do not need a Turnabout, that can go to the graveyard. We draw another Meditate. And another Sail into the West. So our hand was pretty reasonable, and then our draws have not been ideal. They play a Ponder. Flooded Strand. They plus the Tamiyo. I guess I can slide down my sideboard. Okay. We draw land 3. They pick up a Tundra. And draw a card with the clue. They plus the Tamiyo, so next turn they can draw half their deck. So I think what we're supposed to do is just give them another turn here, which seems crazy, but I can't do anything else. So let's just try to set up for a possible win. Okay. They just drew 23 cards with Tamiyo. Living the dream. No maximum hand size. Half their deck in their hand. That is a Psychic Frog. The combo. 28 cards in hand and a creature that gets bigger when you discard cards to it. Mox Diamond? Yeah, this deck is wild. They play a Ponder. We'll play our Island. We draw another Reset, so we'll go to cleanup. The odds I win this game seem like 0, but we're going to try. We'll discard Sail into the West, Mission Briefing, Turnabout. Okay. Let's High Tide. Somehow that resolved. Let's play a Reset. They Force of Will. I will respond with a Reset. And they have another Force of Will. Okay, game number 2. We'll bring in Veil of Summer. Board out Consider. Game number 2, we're on the play. I will keep. Play Prismatic Vista and pass the turn. They play a Hedge Maze. We draw Sail into the West. We'll play our other Prismatic Vista and pass the turn. Psychic Frog. I think I'm supposed to fight over this to buy time. We'll exile Sail into the West. They Force Will exiling Brainstorm. They really want it. Let's get rid of the Cunning Wish. I need to buy time. And the Psychic Frog drawing a card every turn after it deals me damage is not ideal. Okay. Okay, so if I can draw a land or two, we play Flooded Strand and a second copy of Psychic Frog. Ah, geez. We find Planar Genesis. They use Flooded Strand. They pump up the frog by discarding a Tropical Island and a Bayou. 2 cards left in hand. Life from the Loam. Now there's a combo. And I thought I was the combo deck here. They play Flooded Strand. This is pretty cool. So a secret trick about Magic. You can choose to be salty when you lose, or you can appreciate the sweet things that your opponents are doing sometimes. And what our opponent is doing right now is definitely very cool. It is a feature, not a bug. Okay, so I will fetch, grab Island, and unfortunately we're going to grab the Forest here. So we want to hit a land off Planar Genesis, and then we want to draw a land next turn. Okay, step 1. That's fine. We need our opponent to not have a counterspell in hand, but it's not the end of the world. Like, that was actually somewhat reasonable. We'll fetch. See if they dredge the Life from the Loam. They don't. Our opponent attacks for 5. They didn't discard anything, so, I mean, I'm going to try to win here. It's probably a little bit greedy, but I'm going to go for it. Play... Oh, no! Oh, no! I did not mean to do that. I meant to cast the Reset. Oh! Now I'm just dead. Ugh. Wow. So I would have played Reset with 2 blue untapped, or I could have gone Reset, Mission Briefing, Meditate with 4 open mana. So let's see what the 4 would have been. So I don't think any of these win with 4 mana, So I'm going to concede because we're actually just dead on board. And then I'm going to try to draw 3 more cards. 1, 2, 3. It's not letting me draw the third one. The third one would have had to have been another reset. But we went 1 and 4. I did not play that well this league. I'll be honest with you, it's a little late as I record this. So that probably has something to do with it, but also like I just didn't play that well. My apologies. I like to produce a higher quality of play. Tonight I had a couple of misplays that were not so great. But the deck list, let's discuss that. So I don't know if the green splash for Planar Genesis was worth it. I think it was a lot better in theory than practice. Having basic forest in your deck is a real cost. The tropical islands being destroyed by wasteland wasn't so great. The Force of Vigors Umori never came up. The spots where Veil of Summer was good, Flusterstorm probably would have worked. So I would say that maybe Mono Blue is still better. That's my 2 cents. I could be wrong. If you would like to tell me why I'm wrong, comment section. I'd love to hear from you. And before I sign off, I would like to remind everyone, Into the AM sponsored this video. I really thank you so much for doing so. And if you're looking to get sweet clothing at a discount, click that link in the description or the pinned comment and storm 10 for 10% off. Thank you to Into the AM. And thanks for watching. Have a great day, and as always, keep storming. What you should do is like, comment, and subscribe because there's no better way to support us. And if you enjoyed this video, head over to moxfield.com and follow us there. It's truly the best deck website on the internet. We update all of our decks there regularly with the latest and greatest technology, so you're always up to date. Once again, go check out Moxfield, and thank you for watching.